trying to work out whether it's going to rain and whether I put my washing out. But I can't tell. Can't tell. I mean, it's a bit hazy over there. So this is... What have we got? We've got Salford Keys here. The cricket ground is over there. Oldham is over there. So I might just put my washing out. It says it's going to rain in an hour, but they've been saying it's going to rain for 2 weeks and it never does. Look at this. This is my tomato plant. I've got a spare one there so this is just some seeds from some tomatoes that I got from the supermarket that I just chucked in to a pot. It's a really small pot. And there are some that are ready. Oh, there's some that are ready. Do I have that for breakfast? Probably not. I've already been greeted by pigeons this morning. Right, I'm going to put this washing out, blow it. I think it's going to start this afternoon, if it does at all. Anyway, welcome to the vlog. I've put the washing out. I really don't think it's going to rain. I don't believe anything anymore because it always just seems to be a ploy to get people to not make plans to go to the beach in case they get COVID. But anyway, I'm in here because it's just absolutely crazy. I mean, look at it. I'm constantly like keeping this place tidy, and then it ends up in this carnage. There's stuff here. For some reason, my husband has left his laundry there. One of the frogs has left his jacket in here. You know, they're like children. Anyway, I do have a lot of stock in here, so I'm not going to like move it round too much. It's on this phone, it tends to like turn itself off. So stock that was donated by relatives is there. I'm probably going to be starting on that quite quickly, to be honest, because a lot of it's summery. I haven't really looked at it, and it is quite big bags, and I've got the potential of like not dealing with it. My stock that I've purchased, I have 4 boxes of clothing stock purchases, which have now ended up stacking up here, which isn't ideal. I've got sort of like sundry crap here, which I need to sort, and then that's my own clothes that I decluttered, which needs sorting, and I now need to pull my stock. Thankfully, I mean, I've sold a coat, and the coats are all at the bottom level, but it's a big, you know, I mean, we're still heat wave up here. I can assure you, we are still heat wave up here. I've bought a new mic and it's not happening for me. I seem to have lost part of it. Let's sort this out. Okay, that should be better. Yeah, thankfully it's a big fur leopard skin coat, so I should be able to see through the boxes where it is, and it's on the bottom one here where all this carnage is. I seem to have a lot of packaging, and you know, I don't like to throw away anything, but it also means that I've got a lot of packaging sitting around. Right, it is 100% this. While I've got this out, actually, I'm going to put away some of the, because I've got coats in the other room, so I'm going to put those coats in here. So it is, I mean, it says it's size 6. It doesn't seem like a size 6. And it's still really warm and humid here in Manchester. I know that a lot of you are having floods, but we haven't had, we had 2 hours of rain one evening last week while we were still on the heat wave. I think that was like Thursday. And then we haven't had any over the weekend. Oh, I think we had some in like early hours of the morning at some point, but we haven't had any, and it's still chronic, really warm, not sleeping very well. I woke up this morning and it was horrible. Anyway, by the by, I'm going to pull the rest of these things that I've got, which I'm now trying to do on memory because I usually check on my phone. And I have a jumper that I've sold, with the chances of me being able to find this jumper, because the jumpers have overspilled into another box. I think it's in there, but it probably isn't. It's probably in the box which is actually devoted to jumpers, which has now been relocated into the corner, which is really awkward. So I think that one's going to be a bit of a pain because it's there in the corner. This is why I'm getting annoyed when I'm selling books, because the books are all the way over in the corner. Anyway, I've got some blouse that I've sold, which is there, which is over here. So I can pull that. And I've also got a t-shirt, which I've sold. This isn't ideal. Right, so this is Adidas t-shirt. I've sold that this morning. I woke up to a £6 offer and it has free post on it. And I just thought, no, fuck off. And eBay, they sort of like, they say, well, it's £6 and free postage. But then I immediately declined in disgust because it was 7 a.m. and my alarm had just gone off. And I just thought, who are you? And then I realised, as I'd done it in disgust, that it was actually a US buyer, and I probably should have counted. But then they offered again, even though it's like, what is it? I mean, for them it must be 3 a.m. at that time. Anyway, so they counted at 10, and then I counted at 14, and then they've accepted. So that is going to Calgary or something. I don't know. It's going to the US. So, you know, for the fact that I've spent £2 on that, that doesn't even matter. And then I've sold an Enoki blouse, which is here. And it's white, and it's going to camo with everything. And I'll never find it. I should be able to just lay my hands on it because it surely hasn't been there very long. Yeah, so that's it, just a blouse. And that's Enoki East. I've got £25 for this. I mean, who would believe it? It'll probably come back because it's hardly anything to it. Who pays £25 for something so diddly? You know, generally with something that would be that diddly for another brand, you know, we're talking 15 quid. And the coat as well, I sold that for £25, you know, and that's sat around all winter with no interest, and it sells now while everybody's sweating. But there you are, it's because you can't buy these things necessarily in the shops. Right, so I'm not going to film me trying to locate this jumper because I've got to get underneath all my stock and it's just a mess. I am really going to be working on this week, but the thing that I have done, I'm putting out things that I want to deal with. I probably will do some of this clothing that I've got piled up first because I'm just a bit concerned how much of it might be summer wear. I know that there's like a linen thing there's a few linen things in there which need to go on because people do buy out of season, but they don't buy massively out of season, because if they did, I wouldn't have 2 boxes of jumpers to now look through to try and find this skinny jigsaw thing. It's only £12.99 that I've got for this thing, but you know, it's £75 worth of sales that I've got here. No, that's not right. £70 worth of sales because of the free postage and fees. Yeah, it's fairly decent for overnight. I am going to go and post these, and I'm going to go and get some food because we need. I'm going to get some of that fire pit stuff that they have at Tesco for us to eat, because it's really easy and it tastes good, and it'll be discontinued in a month, and then I'll be like, oh, I really like that fire pit stuff. Although it doesn't taste as nice as it did last year, but there you go. I've had one of those, I need some decent food today because I did one of those things yesterday. I mean, we must all be able to relate to this, where I just thought, I'm going to do a nice dish. And I just wanted to do some pasta dish. And then I looked on the internet and got some like random recipe. And it was just a tragic mess. I just wanted to do a creamy pasta sauce. And first it called for spaghetti, and I didn't have spaghetti. So then I just substituted it with pasta toils. So that was the first error. And then the sauce didn't really become a creamy sauce. It just became a clumpy mess. So I've got half a pot of cream now, so I'll get some strawberries, and I really need to like make it up to my husband, because I feel so bad for that dish. You see, I also flung a bit of bacon in it, and the bacon was incinerated, so it was just every aspect of what I thought would be really nice was just a tragedy, and I hate that. And it never goes that well, does it, when you think, I'm going to find a recipe on Google, and then whatever recipe you latch onto, it never works out. I always immediately veto the Jamie Oliver ones, because he always comes up first, but no, what it was disgusting. So I'm going to go to Tesco, get some scran that's not disgusting. Right, I'm going to get these, go off and crack on. Okay, I am now in the sweating like a hooded rapist mode. Found my top. After I've been through both jumpers boxes, and one of them, which I was quite disgusted with, I ended up rearranging. I have also put away a load of stock that I had in the other room. And then I realised that because at the point when I listed this, my jumpers box was overflowing, I just put this in women's long sleeve box. And yeah, okay, I was able to, like, once I realised that it wasn't in the two boxes that I have jumpers in, I was able to realise that, yeah, it probably is in women's wear long sleeves. Which if it was an SKU, you would be thinking, right, it could now potentially be in any one of these 15 boxes. I think I've only got 15 to 20 boxes here, but I was able to like narrow it down to the fact that I had just put it in another long, small long sleeve tops, because it's a thin knit jigsaw jumper. So, and now I've tidied my jumpers up, and now I've put a whole load of stock away. So, I'm in quite a good position. My goal today is to list through the pile of stuff which I have on the buffet, which I have photos for. Because as I'd got to the coats, I thought, I've got a denim jacket in there that I need to do. But although I've got photos, I haven't created the template for it. So I'm going to do that, because things start expiring and I need to clear through my phone, and I've got a lot of like YouTube clips recorded on my phone, which are videos that I either need to create because I haven't done anything with the clips that I've recorded, or I've already done it with them and I need to delete because I've already found a old clothing haul that was in there, and there's no need for it to take space up on here, or on my computer for that matter, although I don't seem to have any control over my computer because of that bloody OneCloud. One of the reasons that I struggle with YouTube is when I come to put the clips together and generate the video, it then doesn't render it into the entire video, because it's putting all its efforts into putting it on the OneCloud, which I don't seem to be able to stop. And then it duplicates the files everywhere, which, as far as I'm concerned, I don't really need multiple copies of it on my storage space when it's technically being stored on the YouTube server. And what am I going to do? Sit and rewatch myself? That's like, high rate weird activity. I don't think that Angelina Jolie's sitting at home watching reruns of herself in, you know, Tomb Raider going, oh, I was so sexy back then. Anyway, I'm gonna now attempt the post and go and get, I'm tired. I thought I saw like a demon in the corner then, or a cat or something, and I realised I don't have a cat. Right, okay, cracking on, losing it. Right, it's just gone at 11. Sweating even more now because I've been outside in the rain. It's spitting, but it isn't even spitting. It doesn't qualify as anything. It doesn't qualify as precipitation. But I'm hot. But I don't think I've hydrated enough. So I'm going on with lime cordial, as approved by the Queen. So, my beverage of choice. So if you're a vegan, turn off now, because this is all the stuff I've got. This isn't frightening to vegans. Strawberries, British. I only buy them when they're British because I do get them in winter, but I don't like stuff which has been poured all over. I don't really know as well what on earth is wrong with them at the Tesco I've just been to, because they certainly don't seem to know much about buying stuff in season, because most of the stuff was from overseas. It's like the lettuces. They had lettuces that were from other countries. If in July we can't get stuff from this country, so this is from this country anyway. So obviously a lettuce, which we probably don't need. Oh, I've been across this again. No, we don't need it. This is the trouble when you don't check. When you don't check before you go out, you end up coming back with the stuff that you've already got. Yes, we keep our bread in the fridge because I don't like things going off all the time. I threw this away because it wasn't as nice as I remember it. This is one of the things I get from the Polish shop, and they are quite nice, but it wasn't this time. It was very burnt. So I've got some chips to go in the freezer. And this is the fire pit stuff. So I've got some quarter pounders and some buns to go with it. All really easy stuff to do because I'm just feeling dead lazy. Peri-peri chicken, steaks. Don't know how nice they'll be. I like the mango chicken, but so does everybody else apparently, and it's always sold out. I think I've had it once this summer. Very annoying. Sweet potatoes, which is very cheesy because we do have an air fryer. Some green beans. These ones do say that they are made by the Chin family in the UK, but the rest of the veg seem to be from Spain or Peru, which just doesn't sit right with me. I just don't get it. I get it in winter. It's a new noise. I just don't get it now. Some barbecue steaks. And so they're pork. And then they had this, which was reduced. But their reductions weren't very good. I mean, they had some strawberries that were reduced, but they were like 20p off. And they were about, you know, to die. So I thought, well, I'll pay the 20p and have some which might last me a few more days. I don't end up putting them in the bin. So this is peri-peri chicken. £2.17 from £3.50. Slow cooked chicken thing. So that's going in the freezer. you do have to defrost it, but that'll be useful for some other day. So, along with salads and other things, that should be enough for the week, I think. And now I'm going to sit down and make sure that I hydrate, because I haven't drunk enough today. This is my cereal bowl. I haven't done the washing up. Okay, I have now hoovered through everywhere and done a whole load of sewing jobs. This being one of them. So I can get that listed now, because that was actually photographed. It just had this really small seam hole on it. Photographed that, ready to go on. I do need to photograph that one, but that one's ready. It's just got a stickered piece on it that's missing, having checked it. But, you know, it's okay. I'm not going to find that. These guys have been photographed and they're waiting to go on. And then I just need to get through this pile, and that's my goal. And washing is out and it's still not raining. And perhaps, maybe I might get on to doing those few bits there, which is board games. But I don't know. Doubt it. Not today. Hello again. It is now Wednesday morning. It's late. I've slept in thinking that it might make me feel better, and it's made me feel worse. So that's good news. I have 9 things that I've got to post, and this is all just stuff from yesterday. I haven't been lucky enough to have a sale yet this morning, but I am lucky enough to have a headache for no reason. So these, which you're probably familiar with, hang on a minute. So they're Kellogg's, obviously. It says Kellogg's at the top. These are on cereal packets. I have got like small job lots of 3 of them for £5 with free postage. If you're going to do this, make sure that, I'm not going to show you the code, but make sure that you give the online ordering code, because people get annoyed when they don't get the online ordering code. And as things stand now in this new world order, it's really important, because obviously they have capacity crowds at things like Alton Towers, and you have to book online. So I've got a whole bundle of these, absolute bundle of them. I've only got 8 there. I've got a 9th one on the thing, but on the fridge. So 3 of them for what did I say, £4.99. They literally sold within an hour of me listing. So definitely worth doing that. And you know, I'm still clearing through the dross. I really do feel like I need to get rid of a lot of the dross in my storage room, and that's the key for what I'm trying to do and why I'm not sourcing, because I've got 750 odd items live. I've got about 200 things that probably need listing. And I don't like it. I feel like, I know people want to have like a big inventory, but to me having a big inventory means I'm making the wrong decisions, because I should be able to just sell things. I don't want to have loads of stuff in storage. It makes me anxious because it feels like a fire hazard. So I really do want to get... I want to limit how much stuff I've got, because I just can't store it. I've got to be realistic. That it's just, I'm driving myself crazy. So I've sold this for £22. This is the skirt which I just could not leave behind because it was Hush, and I rarely find Hush, but it's a size 6. I mean, it'll probably come back, won't it? I had a return open yesterday for somebody who said that something wasn't authentic, so yeah, right, whatever. For some reason, I've ended up having to pay for the return label, which I thought I had everything ticked. That meant that it would just be produced by eBay and they would invoice me, but apparently not. So that's obviously something that they've screwed up on. I've accepted 20 for this. I've had this for ages. I remember because I hadn't been outsourcing, because I had COVID, and I went out with, when my husband finished for Christmas, I went out for one of the first times with him, because I was quite badly affected, obviously, with COVID, and I was out for about two months that I couldn't go out. But well, yeah, no, that's only 6 weeks. So I had this like doddering trip with him to the charity shop, and I didn't really look, and I wasn't into it, and I couldn't breathe because I put my stupid mask on, and I couldn't breathe because I'd had COVID. And this is one of the things I've found, which I've always notoriously had loads of watchers on it, but nobody wants it. So this is one of these smart wall things, you know, but it's not really a base layer. So that's probably why it hasn't sold, because it's not a traditional sort of base layer that smart wool is. So this will probably come back as well. There we are. I probably will not pick that up again. So yeah, 20 for that. This is a really gorgeous skirt. I've sold this for $27.99. They took a couple of days to pay, and I says, well, I actually don't mind. I know other people get the knickers in a twist in it, but I don't mind. So this is a vintage goth band. And this is so long, this one. This one was so long. It drags on the floor for me, you know, and I'm really short, so I'm hoping that they've read the sizing on this, because it says, I mean, it says small, it's not like where it says 12 and then people go, isn't it a 12? And it's, what is a 12? You know, it's 12 back in the 90s when we weren't fat. So yeah, this is Phase, and it's really gorgeous. I put it up for 30, and I really did think that I would get it. So I mean, $27.99 is pretty much 30, isn't it? Happy with that. I only paid $2 for that. Like I said, I was so excited when I found that, because if it had been like my size, it probably would have stayed with me. This is Lionel Messi, fucking Adidas. That went on auction for $4.99, so stuff that up your arse. I paid $3 for that. Fail. This is another of these brands which sort of end up coming back with, and then just think, what have I done here? Why have I done this? Gerard Durrell, won't be picking these up anymore. I've accepted £11 for that. Thank God it's out of my life. This is an auction. White stuff, 100% linen blouse. So I was hoping that I might have some success with the auction, but still only sold it for $9.99. And then this isn't so much of a fail, because I've already got my money back on this job lot. I tell you, one of the Friends things that I did yesterday, I nearly forgot the minifigure in it. I took all the photos and then realised I'd forgotten to put the minifigure in the pictures. And at that point, I'd just broken it all up and put it away. So I just did one picture of the minifigures. I hope that doesn't cause issues. But anyway, that's Andrea's speedboat. I suppose it does look a bit like Andrea Hill's, maybe. And there she is on her sun lounger. You know. But there we go. I've actually got the boxed version of this, so I don't know why they went for that. You know, the instructions version of it, but you know, there you go. I've only got £6 for that, so that's not exactly fantastic. So that's what I'm going to do now, and I'm going to get these gone. It's 10:30. I shouldn't have slept in. I should have just gone for siesta. Siesta works better rather than just sleeping in, and the groundskeepers are here making a holy din. What am I going to do? I still haven't done this Grand Hotel, as you can see, because it's out here. But I did sort of start having a little bit of a... When I was going through my pile of stuff, I had 2 things that I had the templates made up for, and obviously still I keep the photos on my phone because things expire. And I was like, well, where are these 2 t-shirts? And they were in my stain pile, so I ended up having to go through all my clothing and find these 2 t-shirts, which I've now got on the air actually there. It's not raining, so I could have things outdoors, but I haven't. So I've got a box of stuff to iron, which, because I hoovered yesterday, it might be a good idea for me to just rattle through a box of clothing and get those photographed while the floors clean for me to do flat lays. So I'll probably do that. But that will be after I work through that pile that I've still got there. Although I must have done about 15 things yesterday. I've still got a pile of clothing that's photographed. I might just sit and do that because I don't feel with it at all. So I'm still going to crack on and get that done. That's the key. Okay, right, cracking on. Sky is still looking pretty grim, but we've just had this crazy thunderstorm which has gone on for about 2 hours. I was doing really well listing, but something happened with my laptop, so I've turned it off. So I've only literally done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 listings. So I've still got all of this to work through. And now it's like, I don't know, I'm just, I'm really reluctant. Something happened with the Wi-Fi and it went all funny and I don't know. So I've just turned it off. Storm has finished. So I'm thinking it might be light enough for me to just work through these. I'm just going to press these. I'm not going to photograph them today, but it'll just move me on a bit with it. So I'm going to get all this stuff ironed and then I may well just do that because the weather is just, it's too dark in here to take photos, but at least I can get the ironing done and then I'll probably maybe start on Lego. But just these friends things which won't involve me putting loads of stuff on the carpet because I do need to get some clothing photographed because it's not going to take me very long to list all of that. Once I can actually put my computer on. Yeah, so I can still hear a little bit of thunder and it is really dingy and it does seem to be coming over from that way. It seems that when we have rain it comes over from the Keys. So that way is, that's the way I just showed you. That's, yeah, that would make sense because that's the Mersey because the river comes this way. So the weather would come that way, although it just seemed a bit, I can watch the weather go all the way across. It's the beauty of living in flats. Although we're only 4th floor here, when we used to live on the 13th floor, well, it was the 10th floor, but there was a lot of car parking at the bottom bits. But that was amazing. You used to be able to see the rain come over. It's beaten all my bloody tomato plants down because the hail was really bad. But anyway, I'm going to do this ironing. It is a bit dingy, so hopefully I'll be able to see any flaws that are on it. But I just think that'll be something that I can do. And then I'll probably do my friend's Lego sets. And maybe do a bit of listing. I just want to wait for it to pass because I don't want to have my laptop on. I know it's like a very rare thing if you have a power surge into your apartment and into your house, where but it does happen, and I'm going to be like kicking myself if I end up with no laptop because something peculiar happened. So, you know, let's not be silly here. And let's just do something else. And I do need to charge this phone. So hopefully I'll better put this video on at some point when I can put my laptop on. So thank you for watching. Goodbye. I should have just uploaded it yesterday, shouldn't I? When I actually did yesterday's bit and just called it a day, but I didn't because I'm a scumster. Okay, I'm going to crack on now.